student nurse and mother of 3 had described how she thought she was going to die and feared she wouldn't see her family again after contracting Covid-19.
She's so young too. Natasha Jenkins was on a ventilator in a coma and spent 22 days fighting coronavirus. Now, just 3 weeks ago, the 35-year-old was well enough to go home, where she was reunited with her family on Barry Island in Wales. And look at this moment. Oh, my goodness, those arms must have been aching for this. Oh, my goodness. Right, we're going to join Natasha now from there this morning. We just had to, I think that's the sofa where it all happened, where you finally got to hug your children after all that time. Natasha, obviously what will have shocked everybody is not just that you went through a terrible ordeal, but you're so young. Presumably you yourself didn't feel particularly at risk, did you? Or did you as a student nurse?
Absolutely not. Obviously, I was on placement a week before I got ill. Obviously, I was aware of the virus and the hospital were aware, but I just never thought in a million years that I would catch it. Even when I was in the hospital and they'd done the test on me, I said to the doctor, oh, I haven't got it. There's no way I'm going to have the virus. And he was like, I don't think you've got it, but obviously it came back as positive.
It's extraordinary. You spent, and the decline was so dramatic, which is what we've heard quite a lot as well. It's 22 days fighting coronavirus in a coma and on a ventilator. I can't imagine what it was like to go through. Do you have much recollection of that period, Natasha, and what it was like?
Obviously, I was ill. I've had to look at texts because I can't really remember actually declining because it was quite rapid in the hospital. I can't remember any of that. I could hear stuff when I was on the ventilator. Whether that was when they were trying to reduce my sedation, I'm not sure, but I could hear stuff. So it's really, really vague. It's just really difficult.
Sorry, I know it must be so upsetting just to even think about it. It's extraordinary to think that obviously to the outside world, when you're in a coma, you are, your eyes are shut, you're being helped to breathe. There's no communication, and it is intriguing and sort of fascinating to think that, and many people will take heart from the fact that you could hear it, people who are phoning their relatives who are still in that position, who are trying to contact them. And can you say, is that helpful to hear things when you're in that very dreadful situation where you're awake inside, but your body is completely still?
Yeah, so the only way I can describe it is like paralysis. So you can hear stuff, but you literally cannot move. So I could hear the nurses introducing themselves and saying, oh, I'm so-and-so, and I'm going to be looking after you today. So it is comforting. So I would say if anybody's able to speak to their family members, whether it's through an iPad or a FaceTime or anything like that, definitely do it. Because in my experience, I could hear, and I would have loved to have been able to speak to my family at the time.
And we know that the care that everyone has been getting has been second to none. Our NHS carers have been so important to all of those family members that can't be there. They can't be at your bedside. What was the first thing you saw when you started coming out of your coma that you remember, Natasha?
I don't know. I think for the first 2 days, it was still quite hazy because of the medication you're on. I was still hallucinating a bit. So it's just, I could see obviously other people across the way from me. They were also on a ventilator. So it's just on obviously of the nurses and the doctors. They've got their PPE, so it's quite confusing because you don't know who's who. But I had pictures of my children they'd put on the end of my bed for me. So when I woke up and when I was coming around, I could see those pictures.
So that must have been a huge comfort when you found that out. Now, look, we've been very excited because we know that you were contacted by a certain rock legend who had heard your story and wanted to get in touch. Tell us what happened.
Well, my house phone rang. I answered the phone and it was his PR company. And they said that Rod would like to send me something. So they asked for my address. I was just expecting a card. And yeah, so we've sent me quite a substantial bit of money to help me, obviously, through the times, obviously, that I'm going through.
You're obviously very close because you know him with first name terms. For the rest of us, it's Rod Stewart. He phoned up and said Rod Stewart would like to send you a get well gift, which is a lot of money that he sent to you, which must have been so wonderful to receive, Natasha.
That was amazing. Obviously, I can't work at the moment. I've had to take time off uni, so it's a massive help for me. Obviously, I'm a single parent. I've got 3 children, so it's going to put a lot of... there's no pressure on me now to return to uni or work, and so it's a massive help, and I can't believe the generosity.
And Natasha, you still sound a little bit breathless, actually. So I'm assuming you're still in recovery, even though you're at home and with your children. How is it being back at home with your children finally? Because obviously you've got to be a mum again, and you can hear you're out of breath just talking.
Obviously, I've had a tracheostomy put in. It's actually got better the last 2 days. My voice, it was really croaky. Obviously, they make a noise, but it is much better now. I am a little bit out of breath. That's because I'm speaking quite a lot. But in regards of recovery, my mobility is not the best. I've had to learn how to walk again. I am able to mobilise around the house now. Today, I'm going to have a little walk up and down the streets and try and build up my strength, because obviously all my muscles have sort of wasted away. Yeah. But in comparison to what I've watched and been following other people, I think I'm doing quite well.
Yeah. Those 3 little happy faces will want you however you are, because they will have missed you terribly. And it's wonderful to know that you're still going to train as a nurse and graduate as a nurse in the NHS. What an incredible insight you've had into this pandemic from a personal point of view. I'm sure it'll make you an incredible nurse too. Natasha, thank you.
That's okay. Thank you for having me.
Fantastic stuff. And how generous of Rod Stewart. Just get in touch, send us some money, which is going to make a huge difference.